Here's an interesting set, and another one I lost the box to. Hey guys! Welcome to the LEGO Archives. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing set 8724, Garan, which is a Bionicle. But ironically, this Bionicle falls into the same category as the Star Wars Minis or the LEGO Racers Tiny Turbos. These were really small. This guy is only like 24 pieces, literally. He's really cool though. Really big for a 24-piece set. These guys have really big pieces. And if you don't know the purpose of a Bionicle, the purpose of a Bionicle is they're really poseable. They're basically just as poseable as an action figure. In the same way Lego Racers are like Hot Wheels, these guys are basically like your action figures. And they had a lineup of comics and everything with these guys back when they were around. And ever since, I put a sword on upside down. Ever since 2010, the Bionicles have been discontinued to make room for other series like Bionicles, which included the Ben 10 and Hero Factory. Personally, I'm more of a Bionicles fan. I was always really into these guys as a kid. The way they were always really poseable, they had a cool storyline, and there was a comic to look forward to every month, and it was always a really cool comic to read. They were just a really cool set. I don't know what happened to these guys. But this one's Garan. He's 24 pieces, somewhere around that, number 8724. And he's got the old flippy instruction booklet that you guys, the same one from, let me just unfold this here. The same one from the Tiny Turbo, so you guys can tell he's small. He's actually similar to the Tiny Turbo in Bionicle terms. You can see he's a very easy build. That's it. 7 steps, you got the guy built. From that to that. He has 3 foot pieces, believe it or not. These guys. This is actually one of them is his body. So that shows how small of a Bionicle this guy is. Rather than using the whole torso chest piece, they just use a foot. And these guys are meant to be small, obviously. These are the ones you build it, you get it built in 5 minutes, you got yourself a new action figure to play with. And if you get all 3 of these ones, I only have 1 of these. If you get this one, numbers 8726 Dalu and 8722 Kazi to go with Garan, you get to build this giant spider thing. And this is all part of the Paraka, which I'm not very into Bionicles anymore, so I don't really know what any of this stuff is anymore. But this is the tutorial to build the spider steps 6 through 9 in this instructions. And just in case you guys have lost the instructions, there you go, something close to instructions here for you. But yeah, you see there's pieces I don't have because it requires all 3 of those guys. If I ever find all 3 of these guys, I promise you guys I'll build that spider and review it as a bonus review. Kind of like if I did the LEGO Racers, I'll build that bigger car and do it as a bonus review. For the car or whatever. If there's an alternate creation I can make out of my Legos, I will build them and do them as unnumbered bonus episodes of the LEGO Archives and call them like sets blah 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 combined and whatever, you know. Really cool though. It's really cool that you can build that spider thing. But going back to Garan, he is a black Bionicle. As you know, there's always 6 Bionicles released at once, and they always have a color variety. Usually red, blue, green, white, brown, and black are usually the colors of choice. Sometimes they bring in yellow, and sometimes they bring in purple, all kinds of colors like that. Teal, green, whatever. There's always like a gold, like the yellow one always looks pretty golden too, as another thing. My favorite Bionicles were never really the black ones. I was always, this might sound racist, but excuse me. My favorite Bionicles were always the white ones. I actually have my favorite Bionicle is one of the white ones, and he was one of the I can't remember the names of them, but the white one always had the cool mask with the big skinny thing, or there's like a big, it looked like a gas mask almost usually, and he always has that one circular eye with the big scope on it, and those were always so cool for me. But this one here, these black ones always have the most generic mask compared to all the other Bionicles, which I guess is okay. I guess that's okay, but he always has the most generic mask for me. And to my understanding, the black ones are usually villains as far as I can remember. But don't quote me on this. I'm not as into Bionicles as I used to be. And I don't know much about them. But you guys can see. If you guys know Bionicles really well, you know one of the coolest things about Bionicles is each Bionicle, no matter what season, they would never carry a mask over. They would always have these new masks created for each one. And you could buy them, you get the new mask piece. And with these ones, like the Paraka, with each Paraka, you can mix and match the masks. And we have this one right here to add to our collection, you know. You get a new mask to add to your collection. And there come some cases where you can keep buying the same set over again, and you'll get a different mask each time. And that was really cool. And I think there's actually one I have 2 different masks for. But this is underneath his head, and you can see he has a weird looking robot face. And these little robot faces, they all look the same for each one. Of the Paraka, for example, they all have the same robot face underneath, or whatever, to hold the masks on. And that's still pretty cool. Like, you can pretend like you're fighting, and he lost his mask in battle, and now he looks like this, or something like that. The thing with Bionicles is certain pieces that you would want to lose during a battle or whatever are easily removable. Like the sword, for example. If I do this right, I can just slide this bad boy right off and be like, oh, I don't need this. Come on, get off of there. Get off of there. Come on. Well, that was one-handed attempt, but you see the sword comes off. And he has two of these guys. I've never seen a sword like this before. The Bionicles are known for creating their own... Whoops. The Bionicles are sets known for creating their own pieces for each set to their liking. Considering they're like robots, they obviously need to make new pieces to make new designs. And another thing you always use is, unlike most LEGO sets, which use like the whole Technic pipe method or the whole brick stacking method, the Bionicles use a different method. They use a ball and socket method. And with the ball and socket, you can see the foot is completely poseable around that ball. And that makes it so this guy is like a poseable action figure, and that's a really cool method. And LEGO, I'm gonna make a point. You discontinue Bionicles so you can make more sets with this design, okay? Just keep the Bionicles while you did the other ones. I don't care about Hero Factory. I don't think anyone cares about Hero Factory compared to these guys. These are the coolest. These robots and everything. Every kid collected them all as the years went on, as his arm came off. Every kid got all these as the years went on. And they were a cool figure and stuff, and now they're just gone, and I miss them. And I made a mess of this one as well, just like the freaking Atlantis one. I just made a mess of him. Whatever. So that was LEGO 8724 Garan. I don't know how you pronounce these names. They're never really announced how you're supposed to pronounce the names. So whatever, I made a mess of the set. I have to clean this up on this one up now too, so hope you enjoyed.